Hey everybody, so my name is LaPretty and I am the Dominican Voodoo Spiritualist, and today I'm going to be doing a tarot card reading on Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance. I know I am very late. The Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance was a week and some change ago, but I'm still going to go ahead and read it. I feel like Bad Bunny is really spiritual. I get Espiritismo vibes from him. If you know what Espiritismo is, then you know what you know. But yeah, I'm just getting that from him. And then I know, like I said in one of my videos, that I wish they would have brought out like Daddy Yankee and Hector the Father and Tito Bambino. But they actually did an interview with, I don't know why my face looks so asymmetrical for whatever reason. But anyway, they interviewed Daddy Yankee, and you know Daddy Yankee is a born again Christian. He doesn't do reggaeton music no more, none of that. But I think he kind of said in his interview that he didn't want to get involved with the politics or anything like that when it came to the performance. Or I think he said religious purposes. I think he said religious purposes, but I think the underbelly of it was that he didn't want to get involved with the government. But my thing is that people have to understand. Like I know I said that he should have had other reggaeton artists performing with him, but when you think about it, a lot of Puerto Ricans and a lot of Hispanics in general, they voted for Trump. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, yeah, everybody was wearing their Puerto Rico flags and shirts and banners or whatnot last Sunday when the Super Bowl hit. But and we talk about Trump this and Trump that and how he was trying to sabotage the performance because you could tell there was a lot of sabotagery that happened around his performance and even before. I could just feel it in the energy before his performance even started, and in the way Bad Bunny was dressed, his outfit, it was just something like symbolic about the way that he was dressed, how tall he was, because I didn't know he was that tall, but it's like his demeanor and his outfit that he had on, it had him postured in a certain way. And I'm saying, like, yeah, it's something spiritual going on here, and it's a little sabotagery going on here too with this performance, where they made it so he could just go out there and do it, but not do as good of a job as he probably could have done more than what he already did. But yeah, a lot of people fail to realize that a lot of Puerto Ricans and a lot of Hispanics in general, they voted for Trump. So let that sink in. And with Daddy Yankee, I'm not sure if he is a Trump supporter or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was, because in Well AA, who's a reggaeton artist, himself, he voted for Trump. He even came out and did the whole, campaign, Nicki Jam. Then he went and got embarrassed when Trump called him Nicki Minaj instead of, Nicki Jam and everything. Because I'm sure he didn't even know who Nicki Jam was. And that's the silly part about it. It's like so many people have voted for Trump, but I bet you if you were to give Trump a quiz on all of these rappers and singers and publishers and people of these like high titles, he wouldn't even know who any of them are, let alone what they do, the genre or the background of it. So I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and read. So let's see. Spirit of the universe for itself, when it comes to Bad Bunny and his performance, was there sabotagery that went on? Yeah. Yes. Yes, there was a lot of sabotagery that went on. There was a collaboration that had happened. Because I'm picking up the two of baskets, he had an agreement where he had to literally sign himself. It was almost as if he almost kind of had to sell his soul where he couldn't be too authentic. Because that's what they told him. Like, hey, you can do the whole Puerto Rican thing, you can do the whole love thing, you can rep your culture, rep your country, but you gotta include us in it. You gotta include the United States because Bad Bunny was standing tall. He like, I ain't backing down. This is for Puerto Rico, for the Boricuas. We gotta do this so people can know our culture and know who we are. But they did. There was an agreement that went on. He did have to come to like a truce, or he had to like make an agreement of some sort in order for him to do this performance the way that it was done, because there was a drastic change to how the performance really was gonna go as opposed to what was went over in like the guidelines. Because like when Bad Bunny came up, they was like, hey, you can't, because he was gonna perform in a dress, but they said no, you can't do that. And he was gonna do some more outlandish random stuff, but they were saying like, "Hey, we have to keep this clean, peachy keen, PG-13, whatever the case may be." And the thing about Bad Bunny is that I listen to Bad Bunny's music, and I speak Spanish, so I know what he's saying, but he does not rap or sing the cleanest lyrics at all. Like reggaeton music is very raunchy. Like, yeah, the beat is really good, the language is cool and everything like that, and it sounds good, but when you literally like translate or interpret the lyrics, they are very vulgar and raunchy, and it's something you wouldn't even want to play in front of like your child, toddler, your grandma, your teacher, your boss, or nothing like that. But yeah, the Bad Bunny had to be like cleaned up real good before he could perform his performance because they said we're not having all that, crazy, outlandish LGBTQ things or anything like that. It's going to be clean cut or we're going to sweep you under the rug. So let's see, what did Bad Bunny do in order to prepare for his Super Bowl performance? I'm picking up he did a seance. He did a seance. And so a seance is what people do in Espiritismo when they have misas. And to those of you who don't know what Espiritismo is spiritism. It comes from the Latin Caribbean islands. And there's different variations of Espiritismo. You have Venezuelan Espiritismo, you have Puerto Rican Espiritismo, which is the most popular one, and that's called Mesa Blanca. And you have Espiritismo Cruzado, which is like the Cuban version of Espiritismo. But yeah, Bad Bunny had a seance. He had a seance done where he had to meditate and pray and where he had to think about all of the stuff that he was going to do. But he also needed to bring in divine protection because I'm picking up where he has some mothering spirits or some type of cloaking spirit. So he was covered. Like a lot of people don't know that some of these celebrities, we all know are like spiritually touched. They have gifts, they have divine gifts, they have divine protection or divine favor, and can't nobody touch them. But the reason why can't nobody touch them is because they've been cloaked. So Bad Bunny had to cloak himself before he got on this performance, which is why he wore white. Anybody knows that in the Spiritismo, when you wear white, it means angelic presence. It means ancestral connections, conversations, and experiences, and things like that. So with the beads, it represented royalty as far as his rank. And when he wore the posture that it was in, I felt like he did something to kind of help his height. Cause I'm saying like he's not that tall. I don't know why he looked so much taller than what he did. But a lot of the things that he did as far as clothing wise was symbolic. So he did have a seance, and then his mother spirits and nurturing spirits did come up because he was very, anxious. He had a lot of anxiety about this performance because he did not want to do something that was going to like trip up the performance or like hurt anything or hurt anybody or just be bad. But the only thing about that he didn't like was that it was basic because he knew he could have did more. He could have did a lot more than what he did, but he knew he had to play it safe. Because I'm picking up where his grandmother watches over him. I'm not sure. I don't study Bad Bunny like that. I'm not sure if he has any like dead grandparents or anything like that, but I'm picking up a mother spirit is watching over him or somebody who governs or protects him. So yeah, Bad Bunny is an espiritista. So let's see what's going on here. So now Ricky Martin was in the performance. I personally did not like Ricky Martin being there. I would have preferred to see somebody else, but it is what it is. So let's look into why there weren't any other Puerto Rican performers that were on stage with him, as far as like singing and rapping and whatnot. They didn't want to get too deep into politics. They wanted to like show love from afar and to like show their love and support through watching him on TV with everybody else because they didn't want to get too far into politics. And some of them, if not a lot of them, want to support Trump in this because, like I said, a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Latinos, and even Puerto Ricans voted for Trump. So even though Trump, didn't want Bad Bunny performing. He's against, anything that's non-English, non-American, non-Anglo, Saxon, like he is against it. But yeah, so Bad Bunny did not have a lot of Puerto Rican performers on stage with him because they wanted this to be his moment. They wanted him to shine his light. They wanted to show their love and support from afar. But, like I said, a lot of them there for Trump. So there was a lot of Trump support mixed in with that love and support from afar. Okay. So let's see the thing with Cardi B and the other Latin performers that was there. Why didn't they perform and what was going on with that performance? I'm picking up for Cardi B. Cardi B was just tired, is what I'm saying. Yeah, Cardi B was tired because she just had a baby. She is going through postpartum depression and stress, even though she hides it really good from people. But she is going through a lot of things emotionally and internally. So she kind of just want to like step back and step to the side and kind of like dance or whatnot, and not be too involved because it's too stressful. And plus, she has a tour coming up, so that's why she didn't perform. There's a lot of like bustling energy going on here as far as like career moves and features and what was done and wasn't done, and they felt like it was almost too political to even make a statement or to even do anything because they felt like it went from doing something fun and collective and cultural till they saw like, oh, okay, we see what this mess is, we see how hot it is, so we just don't really want to like get in the way of like what could come out of this. Because like I said, you could tell when you could tell before Bad Bunny was set to perform, they kept doing a lot of commercials. It's like they already had like a good set of commercials where you could have came on already, but then it's like they play six more commercials and then another three commercials. I'm saying like y'all are trying to sabotage this where people get so tired of the commercials they don't want to see the halftime show. And I felt like that's what they did. But then they knew like, okay, we got to bring them out because that's what people want to see. And and they eventually put them on. But people have to understand that people may have talked junk about Bad Bunny and didn't want him, but they watched anyway. Controversy is a moneymaker, whether people like it or not. Being rude, mean, rebellious, and out of the blue and out of the box and whatnot, it brings in numbers. Because Bad Bunny and a lot of people even wanted to negate his numbers and say Kendrick Lamar actually did better than him and Bad Bunny didn't do better than him, yada yada. Yeah, he did. Bad Bunny now is the most watched halftime show in the history of halftime shows now for the Super Bowl. He outdid Rihanna, he outdid Michael Jackson, Usher, and Kendrick Lamar. So Bad Bunny did his big one with that. And I mean, we got to think about it because even though people talk so much junk about it, they wanted to see like, oh, what is he gonna do? Because we heard so much. Because we were saying like, oh, he gonna come up there in a dress, oh, he gonna wear nails and fingernails. Because Trump is very anti-LGBTQ, and this card keeps coming out, and I feel like it's Trump, but Trump is very anti-LGBTQ. He's very anti diversity, very anti standing out, very anti different, very anti colorful. He's just dark, dark, dusty, and bland. I'm not even saying that to be mean. He wants everything to be uniform and plain Jane, nothing too standoutish. But Bad Bunny did great, and he did a really good job. But let's see, like, with the songs because I felt like he could have did more songs instead of just the two or three that he did. So let's look at to see. You know what? I even said this. I said he could have had a medley like Rihanna did because Bad Bunny is not a new artist. I think the reason why people think that he's kind of new because of his rebrand because Bad Bunny did not look like this like back in 2019. 2018-19 was when Latin music, reggaeton music specifically, went mainstream. Like if you weren't Latino back in the day, or if you didn't hang around a lot of Latinos, or if you weren't into urban Latin music, you didn't know nothing about reggaeton. Like I was there when Freaky Tona by Plan B was there, Gasolina by Daddy Yankee. Um, and Bad Bunny even sampled, I think, Freaky Tona in one of his songs. Down by Rakim and Y. Soy Igual Que Tu by Alexis Fido. Like I was there for all of it. De La Ghetto, Es Difícil. Like back then, that was like the golden era of like reggaeton music. When reggaeton music, like hip hop music, was good. But Bad Bunny did a rebranding because when he first came out in 2019, when reggaeton music was mainstream, he was like the nerd. He was like the nerdy. He was like the nerdy reggaeton rapper. He had the glasses, the suspenders, and like the Chuck Taylors and the Avatar haircut, things like that. He did do the painted nails. And yeah, but he still made like really good reggaeton music that did numbers. But due to like Trump already having a bad imprint on Puerto Rico by throwing, the tissue and stuff like that when the Hurricane Maria came in 2017. And then now with a lot of mass gentrification going on in the Caribbean, he felt the need to say, okay, this is my time to come back. But this is my time to make a statement and to put some respect on my island, Puerto Rico. Because let's look into this because Puerto Rico is not the only place that's getting gentrified. Like Jamaica, Haiti, even though Haiti right now is a little dangerous, people have started to invade Haiti. And those are the only ones that I know of that are being invaded. And even in the Dominican Republic, like I remember when I went to the Dominican Republic a couple years ago, they had other countries coming in there and kind of slowly, gradually taking over some of the like ports and stuff that were there. Because you had one port, because I was dating a guy who was working on one of those ports that was there, and it was Dominican ran. And then all of a sudden, I think this company or this man from like the Middle East or something like that, he bought out the plan, and everybody, lost their jobs, and this new company of people just came in and they had jobs. So it happens. But let's see if Bad Bunny did this for attention, if he did it for politics, or why did he do it? Okay, so Bad Bunny pretty much did this to bring love and respect to his island of Puerto Rico, because he felt like Puerto Rico needed some love. The island really needed some love, and it needed a rebranding because he felt like the history was starting to be forgotten. Because if you guys know, like Puerto Rican culture in the United States, Puerto Ricans have been well known in the United States for a long time, especially in New York. Because just like how African Americans had the Black Panther Party, Puerto Ricans had their own political party in New York when they used to advocate whether Puerto Rico should be independent and be a separate island, or Puerto Rico should remain a commonwealth of the United States. And Puerto Ricans, for the most part, they ran New York for a very long time. Like the three main ethnic groups that were urban and that had a big impact on hip hop and R&B music in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s was African Americans, Jamaicans, and Puerto Ricans. So Puerto Ricans, they've done a lot. And that's why he made a song Nueva York, because of, the impact that Puerto Ricans had on New York, especially with the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So yeah, so he did this to bring love and light to Puerto Rico because he felt like a lot of the history as well as the community was starting to dwindle down, and he did do this for a money grab. He like, hey, I'm Puerto Rican. I look Afro Latino with my light skin and my curly hair and my Rico Suave look with my clothes off and everything. So I'm gonna do this, and he did. So yeah, Bad Bunny did do it authentically, but he did it for monetary reasons as well. So this rebranding that he did was really good. So yeah, this rebranding that Bad Bunny did was really good. So let's look into one last thing. So how does Bad Bunny feel about his Super Bowl performance? He was actually scared. He was scared because of ICE. He felt defenseless. Yeah, he was scared. He felt defenseless. He felt as though nobody was going to really have his back. Nobody was going to comfort him. And nobody was really going to like help him that much. So with this, so yeah, so Bad Bunny, he felt, scared, he felt defenseless, he felt as though, somebody's gonna be out to get me, ICE is gonna come up on stage and grab me. So he was scared. So yeah, when he got up there on that stage, he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this for my people, and I'm gonna do what they tell me to do, because I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, Bad Bunny was scared when he got up on that stage because he didn't know what was gonna happen when he got on stage. But you could tell it was very orchestrated. He was told what to do because even at the end, he was told to say, I love America. This is for the United States, and then he brought out the flags representing the different countries. But in all honesty, Bad Bunny did not want to do that. He was told to say that, and that was a part of the agreement. Because, like I said in the beginning, before Bad Bunny was set to perform, he had to sign an agreement, which was a guideline that said that he had to do everything that we saw to the T. If not, they were going to fine him. So they threatened him. So what I'm seeing is this. Let me look into this. Okay, Spirit of the Universe, was Bad Bunny threatened if he didn't, follow the guidelines of this agreement? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. These people were very cutthroat. They said if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're gonna break every bone in your body and rip every dollar out your pocket. Like they were not playing with him. They meditated and they thoroughly thought about this because Bad Bunny was supposed to do this because people don't really think about prolificness like this on a spiritual level. People always think that, oh, they just performed, they did it. God sometimes makes people cultural icons on purpose. Because some people may not think that being black is spiritual, that being Puerto Rican or Hispanic or Asian or white or a person of color is spiritual. God made us the colors that we are for a reason. And a lot of people have been picked or have been chosen to be the revolutionaries, the leaders, or the icons of their people, like Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Kendrick Lamar, Whitney Houston, Beyonce. Like we've had ours. And when it comes to Latinos, they've had Sonia Sotomayor, they've had, Bad Bunny, they've had Cesar Chavez, they've had Selena, and so on and so forth. So he was meant to do this. This was predestined. This was divine. So Bad Bunny, whether anybody likes it or not, he was supposed to perform that night at the Super Bowl. But yeah, they told Bad Bunny, if you don't get up there and do what we tell you to do, we fine you. So that is it for my Bad Bunny reading. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, love, subscribe, and leave positive comments in the comments section. But if you would like to book a reading with me, feel free to go on my website known as the Dominican Voodoo Spiritualist, and you could text the number that is listed on my website to book a reading with me. Have a good day.